I'm going to do this one time and one time only. Bobo is not Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is not Bobo. They are not in the same stratosphere. They're completely different. The only similarities between them is they're both black, they're both 7'3" or 7'4", and they both know how to dribble. Bobo isn't necessarily a good dribbler, he's a lazy dribbler. But let's not get into that. First things first, Shaquille O'Neal said in TNT Inside the NBA, he said that Victor Wembanyama wasn't the first time we've seen a player like this, as you can see in this video here.
No, I want to go at Reggie a little bit. He talks about he's never seen a guy like Wembanyama. Yes, you have. His name is Bobo.
You think
Wembanyama?
Bobo?
Let me finish my point.
They both black or something?
No, let me finish my point. Wembanyama is just way more consistent than Bobo, but Bobo is the first
I
7 foot that we see with that. Yes, it is.
First of all, that's no.
We've seen Bobo.
That's not true.
Wembanyama is way more consistent than Bobo.
He's only played 3 games.
This is a lazy take. This is one of the laziest takes I've heard in recent years. This goes alongside the lazy takes that Bradley Beal is an incredibly loyal player, or that Stephen Curry is a bad defender. You know, the lazy takes. I'm just joking, Bradley Beal. But, you know, these takes here, incredibly lazy. Or that Allen Iverson was a good defender when he got a lot of steals. Those are lazy takes that if you just look at it from a face value perspective or look at the highlights, it looks like these are facts. Bobo in July was waived by the Orlando Magic after playing for several different teams before this and playing for Oregon, struggling with injuries. I'm not going to talk on Oregon because obviously college is very different from the NBA. But, you know, when you're getting dropped from the Denver Nuggets, waived by the Orlando Magic, after obviously highlight reel after highlight reel from his days in the Orlando Magic, Twitter exploded. I didn't explode. Orlando Magic fans didn't explode. The analysts around the NBA didn't explode. When the Suns signed Bobo, I was just confused because Bobo isn't that guy. I'm sorry, Bobo is lazy. Bobo is lazy with the ball, turnover after turnover after turnover. He's poor on rotations. He's not a good defender for someone being that tall. He's an okay shooter. He's a decent shooter. You know, like, not even a decent shooter. He's an okay shooter, as in he can put the ball in the basket from 3. That doesn't make you a good shooter. Victor Wembanyama has shown potentials of being a good shooter. He has only just come into the NBA and he's still shooting above 30%. You know, good shooters in the NBA start off their careers around that 30% mark. So you're looking at a player like Victor Wembanyama, who's a good defender. Good handle, incredibly good handle for a 7'4" person. And he can shoot the ball. And I think we need to look specifically at the defensive capabilities of both players. Victor Wembanyama is absolutely phenomenal on defense. You know, the defensive field goal percentage he has ranks among some of the best players in the league. How are you going to shoot over a 7'4" guy? You know, whereas Bobo is lazy. Genuinely lazy, doesn't work hard to get back on defense, doesn't contest shots some of the time. You know, he just sits around, soaks, and he's one of them guys. What are they called?
A few moments later.
Opium. He's an opium boy. That's all he is. But Victor Wembanyama, let me talk real about him. He had a 38-point game against the Suns, 10 rebounds and 2 assists, if I remember correctly. An incredible performance, as some of the greatest NBA players of all time haven't scored above 35 points, and he scored 38 in his 5th game against a Phoenix Suns led by Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. You know, this isn't a bunch of scrubs. This is Kevin Durant, who's a really good defender, to be fair. And I really liked how Greg Popovich has used him, not always playing the 5 position, sometimes playing the 4, sometimes a small ball 5 from Jeremy Sohan, who I've been really impressed with as well. Shout out my UK guy, Jeremy. But plain and simple, Victor Wembanyama's looking good. He's looking like he's going to be a generational talent in the NBA and going to progress to be one of the best of all time, to be honest. Bobo, on the other hand, looks like he's going to be out of the league in the next 3 years. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Shaq, I love you. You're one of my favourite players ever. But you're wrong. Sorry.